ever since I was a baby, I've had vision. My mother said I used to scare her. She used to have to stop what she was doing because she could tell I was really talking to somebody. So,
Mhm.
I remember growing up having bouts of crying because I'm like, um, don't be putting people in the ground. I would just come out of nowhere. Like, you ain't supposed to be burying nobody, that makes them sad. And my parents would be like, that's not true. You don't know nothing. I was like, no, that's you're wrong. That's not true. And I would have these episodes. So then as I got older, I started having visions. I
Mm.
started seeing. And plus, I'm around family who always talked about this, but yet they had one foot in the church, but they still talked
Right.
about it.
Yeah.
So I got like in middle school, that's when we finally got heavy in the church. And then that's when I was taught, don't nobody want to hear that. We don't do those type of things. You know what I'm saying? So even though it was still in me, I kind of was quiet about it. But this is when like my visions, my work in the spiritual realm amped up even more. But I had to keep it to
Mm.
myself. So,
And
I
this is
just
while
got
you were young growing up? This is a child?
a child. And again, I know it's in my family because we used to have like round table discussions. I used to sit down,
Mhm.
listen to them talk about, well, I seen such and so, and they talking about dead people,
Right.
So I'm
Yeah,
just taking it,
exactly.
taking it all in. And my grandmother, who I take after a lot, she can actually see them, and it's only like a small, like one fourth of people that can actually see spirits with their naked eye. A lot of us see with our third eye.
Mm. Right.
So, she can actually like see them. So, we having conversations and all that kind of stuff like that. And she told me, when I got older, she said I used to tell her when I was younger who I used to see, she, just tell me to be quiet. But she told me she was proud of me for taking this path because, back in the day, they would put you in an insane asylum. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
If you
Right.
talked about these things, these things were talked about in private.
Right.
So, I remember 16 years old having this dream that followed me all the way up until I got into my late 30s, early 40s. And it was then when I realized what I was supposed to be doing. And like I said, I'm from the South. So I always equated it with hoodoo because I didn't know my research. When I thought about voodoo, we always think about, what they tell us in Hollywood.
Right.
And we know it's starting in West Africa. And, you got to be Haitian, all that kind of stuff like that. Well, when I started doing my ancestral worship, they started having me do research and I started learning things. I said, hold up, I deal with more of the spirit, and voodoo means spirit.
Mm.
So even though my family does both, my spectrum is more so on the voodoo side. So,
Okay.
that's what I tapped into more. And, a lot of people have the misconception that someone has to initiate you. 9 times out of 10, you're self-initiated through the spirit. And I have
Yeah.
spoken to people that come from Africa, and everything is done through spirit. It's very rare that a person can initiate you.